What's going on, everybody? Back here for a video. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded. It's just been me. Today we are gonna be doing a reaction to. It's weird. I have it up on my big TV here. It's 15 worst forms of capital punishment. So whatever it is, I have no idea what's going on. I haven't seen it yet, so I was like, you know what? Let's do a video on it. So this is 15 worst forms of capital punishment. Let me know in the comments what you guys think these people should have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Top 10 Trends. Today, we'll be taking a look at 15 of the worst forms of capital punishment. We've come a long way. At least now when we kill people, we try to do it humanely. A note for everyone out there.
Let me make sure my screen is a little smaller, so oops. There we go. I want to make sure it wasn't too big.
I'm going to do my best to make sure this video isn't disgusting, but this probably isn't for the squeamish. I will make sure that nothing on screen is too ghastly, but I do want to give a somewhat of a accurate representation of what was going on in each of these executions. So, note for the faint of heart, you should probably go watch Top 10 Relatable SpongeBob Moments. Number 15, walking the plank. This is a famous one and one you're probably familiar with. Walking the plank is when you force someone to walk off the end of a plank on a boat where they fall in the water. Now, this may or may not be common news, but sharks would often follow pirate ships because they constantly tossed out garbage.
I don't think pirate ships are real. And walking a plank, what is that gonna do? All that person can do is swim to the shore if that person's close to the shore. I don't get it. Okay, I guess that's one worse punishment, I guess.
Garbage, food, spoiled meat, and people when they force them to walk the plank. Yes, there's a chance you could drown in the sea, but far more likely you were going to be ripped apart by the sharks that followed most pirate ships. Number 14. Upright jerking. No, this is not autoerotic asphyxiation, but I can see why you thought that. This is a reverse hanging, where a rope is tied around someone's neck, but instead of being dropped off of a plank or a platform, a crane or a similar device yanks up very quickly. This, I have to assume, usually breaks the spine quickly, but in some cases, the victim strangles to death in the matter of minutes. Terrible. Number 13, sawing. Practiced in Europe and parts of Asia, the victim was tied upside down and then sawed in half, starting from the groin going all the way down to the head. Because you were upside down, the brain would receive a rush of adrenaline that would keep you alive long enough for most of the pain of sawing to take effect.
Why would you saw someone in half while they're awake? Like, I can see it if it was a magic trick and then you put the box back and her body's all in one piece. I can get that. But sawing someone's body in half while they're still alive, that is just wrong. That would hurt. I think that would hurt more than anything else.
This is arguably one of the worst ways I can imagine to be executed. Dear God, can you just imagine being cut in half?
I'm gonna react to a Honey ad starring Mr. Beast and his mom.
Wait, Mom, before you check out...
Half with a rusty, crappy medieval saw? No.
Okay, now I get what they mean by sawing. I thought they sawed half of their body up, but doing that way, oh.
No thanks. Just shoot me. Number 12. Scafism. This is an ancient Persian method of execution where someone is stripped naked and placed inside of a tree trunk. Only their heads, hands, and feet are sticking out. They're then force-fed milk and honey until they develop a severe case of diarrhea. Their exposed skin is then covered in honey to attract insects while they're left floating in a stagnant pond. As the person's waste builds up, the insects attracted begin to eat and breed within their skin, which become increasingly dangerous and gangrenous. Death could take over 2 weeks. Good God! Number 11. Cement shoes. This one's pretty popular and kind of a movie trope, apparently beloved by the American mafia, although I'm not so sure how often it's actually used. The person's feet are placed in a wash bin or tub, and then it's filled with concrete and left to dry in a short amount of time. Once it's dried, that person is then tossed into a river and left to drown. Because their feet are encased in cement, there's really no way out of it. I wonder how many people have been killed this way. Probably not many, but what a horrible way to go. Drowning and there's nothing you can do about it. Number 10. Flaying. Flaying involves removing someone's skin in strips, and not all at once, usually in public. This method of execution was...
Okay, that is just brutal. No matter what crime you have done, you should not deserve to get skinned alive and deal with that pain. Like, that is absolute brutal. Oh my God.
Obviously incredibly painful, and it was often done publicly, with the skin being hung up in very commonly traversed areas, usually as an example for people not to follow. Flaying was a brutal method of intimidating people into listening or doing what you wanted them to. It was often a method of torture used to set an example. Good God. Number 9. Blood eagle. A Nordic way of killing people, the blood eagle involved cutting the ribs of the victim by the spine and then breaking them so they resembled wings. Then you pull the victim's lungs out through the new opening. Then you sprinkle salt on the wound for fun. I'm not sure how you die this one. I'm gonna guess shock. Jesus, my God. Number 8, the gridiron. This one's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, that kind of looks kinky there for a second. Don't take it. I know you're gonna be like, really? But kind of looks like a sexual thing there. Cause you got the hands right up here, and then you got the feet down here and all that. Well, what are these for? I wonder. Let me know in the comments. What are these for? Cause they have these for the top and the bottom. But what are these for? We'll find out.
You basically make a human-sized grill, put hot coals under the grill, and then slowly grill a person who's strapped to the gridiron. This process could take hours, and it would never be quick. The coals were never kept hot enough to just incinerate the person, and there's not enough smoke for you to suffocate, so you could often spend hours as your body is slowly cooked all the way through. Ghastly. Not the Pokemon. Number 7. Crushing. Crushing was actually not that common of a form of death. What they would do is they'd put a thick wooden plank on top of a person's chest and then slowly add weight. This process could take all day, and the human body can actually support a decent bit of weight before it finally gives out and splats. This wasn't used typically to outright execute a person. There's a lot better ways of doing it, and crushing can't really be done in public. You have to do it in private, so it's not even really good as an intimidation technique for other people. What it is good for is slowly but surely extracting information or a guilty plea out of a victim. Imagine laying down with over 800 pounds of weight on your chest. How long is it going to take for you to admit to do?
You might always put an elephant on your chest and just kill him by that. Cause putting stuff on your chest and then having it weighed down and all that. Yeah, your chest is basically like bones and all that, but getting crushed, this has to be in the 1800s.
Doing literally anything just to get that weight off of your chest. Not long. Number 6, the breaking wheel. The breaking wheel is also known as the Catherine wheel. The victim is tied to the wheel, and it was spun, while the executioner would deliver bone-shattering blows to their limbs and body. The victim's appendage...
I heard about this one.
Appendages would be pushed through the spokes in the wheel, and then they would be placed on display for all to see.
Oh.
This, again, is not a very fast or clean method of...
I seen the one where it had that wheel, the wheel and all that, and you have your arms stretched out, and your legs stretched out, and then they twist and all that. your arms and legs just twist, and then eventually your arms and legs would pop out of the socket and all that. I've heard of that, but this one, I don't think I've. I thought it was this one. Well, this one's weird.
Of execution was designed to be done publicly to scare the hell out of anyone else who would think about doing what this person did. Ancient humans were creative in the absolute worst ways, weren't they? Number 5, the Spanish Tickler. The Spanish tickler, or the cat's paw, is actually something we talked about in brutal methods of torture. When used, it looks like a pair of brass knuckles with spikes, or a chicken's foot, or a big claw. It doesn't have to be used for execution. It can be used simply to sink into a victim's flesh and then rip a big chunk out. Do that a couple times, you got yourself someone who's not going to forget anything soon. But do this all day, and yeah, they're going to die. But
That would be brutal. And I'm sorry if there's any ads, because to be honest with you, if anybody knows how to edit videos really well, let me know in the comments. But I'm sorry if there's ads.
not from the...
Hey, check this out.
Hey, how much money did you make last week?
$3,000.
ripping. All you're doing is ripping off skin, and it's gonna hurt. But that wouldn't outright kill a person unless they die from shock. No, they'll die later, a week or two later, in fact, as the infection sets in from the massive gouges across their back and chest, and the lack of skin that used to cover those areas. Number 4, burning at the stake. A fan favorite. If I had to guess, burning at the stake was where you were tied to a stake, covered in tinder, and then lit on fire. Burning at the stake is one of the more famous ways of inhumanely killing people, and is featured in movies and TV shows and books and all sorts of media about this time period. Probably because it's so terrifying. It's a huge ceremony.
That movie right there, I'm trying to figure out what movie that was. Oh, that was, it was 100... I can't remember. It was something. I think it was the 100. Yeah, I think it was the 100s where they went down to Earth and then they did something wrong, and he got tied to a post and he got lit up in with flame and started burning. But if you guys haven't seen that, it's a Netflix series called The 100. And it's basically where they lived up in outer space for generations after generations. They're running out of oxygen, and they want to see if there was any living creatures on Earth, and they sent the 100 kids down since further punishment to see if it's livable, and of course it is. And yeah, it's a good show. You guys, I recommend watching it on Netflix. It's a really good movie series.
People come out to watch, no one really steps in to stop it happening, you're tied to a post and then kindling, and then you see the guy with a torch walking towards you, and you know it's all over. Number 3. Ling Chi, or Death of 1,000 Cuts. The Death by 1,000 Cuts, or Ling Chi, was practiced in...
If you guys haven't heard this in your history classes and all that, 1,000 cuts, each and every part of your body gets cut. Yeah, I've heard about that.
China all the way up to the 20th century, until it was finally outlawed. Ling Chi is exactly what it sounds like. A thin and small knife is used to cut a prisoner as many times as possible before they die. They will die, that's for certain, but the executioner is doing his best to make sure they live as absolutely long as possible. Ling Chi is absolutely horrifying. Death by 1,000 cuts. A slow, sure, and painful way of dying. You're not going to die from the wounds. You're going to die of blood loss and shock, hours if not days later. Number 2. A Colombian necktie. Yes, it's a real thing, not just something employed in movies. A Colombian necktie.
I guess the screen, what they put, because they put animals, so, because I guess it's that terrifying. So, that's what I'm guessing.
Ties when you slit a victim's throat or the bottom of their jaw and pull the tongue out through the opening. I'm not exactly sure how that kills someone. I guess you slit their throat, that would probably do it. Also, sheer shock.
Hang on, this is off topic. I'm sorry. But this dog right here kind of looks like my dog right now. And this one right here looks like my stepbrother's dog. But she's full. They're both fully grown dogs. But no, this one looks like mine. But mine, she has more brown right here and then black and all that. And should have like a white spot right here, like a little bit of brown, and then the rest of it white and all that. That's more look like
Shock.
oops, like right here, like more of the black and brown. If you put that on this side right here, if you guys know what a beagle mix and pug, yeah, it looks like it, but that's not a pug. It's a beagle, but it's not a pug.
Of having your tongue pulled out through the lower half of your jaw, and also suffocation, if I had to guess. Really horrible way to die. Oftentimes, people who died from a Colombian necktie were left out in the open to be discovered by the police or a rival gang. And number 1, hanged, drawn, and quartered. This was done primarily in England, although I'm sure other countries had similar fates. This is one of the most brutal forms of execution.
England has the most stupidest way. I'm sorry if you guys live in England. My bad. I had no problems with it. But back in the 1800s and all that, the ways that they in England they hang people is brutal. Like, why of all the things that we have watched, why does it have to be like hanging and cutting and all that? It's like, oh my god, I remember how they used to just release the prisoners and all that. They make them stand there and they shoot them one by one. Do it that way instead of freaking hanging them. Like, seriously? Like, come on. Snapping the neck, yeah, you could just take the neck and twist. But hanging them, come on now. That's just brutal.
Ever developed. There are 3 parts to this execution. First, you were tied to a wooden frame and dragged to the location, which is the drawing. That doesn't sound very fun. Then you were hung by the neck until you were nearly dead. Immediately after being taken down and prevented from dying, your abdomen was ripped open and your entrails were removed. As you watched your own entrails removed...
Now, just imagine this person tied up to 4 horses and then tight, and this dude decides to come in, chop your body, and all that, while both these two run off in their different direction. Like, oh my god! I know I'm not. I'm gonna have nightmares just after this. Like, oh my god!
Moved, they were then burned right in front of your eyes. Then, you were also emasculated, which means you have whatever genitals you have cut off, and beheaded. After all of this, your body is divided into 4 parts, which is the quartering, and placed in various locations around the country as a public crime deterrent. This type of punishment was traditionally reserved for incredibly heinous men, and women were burned at the stake. How about that execution gap? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like the video, please give it a like down below, and if you want to...
No. To be honest with you, to be honest with you, that is just brutal. Like, let me know in the comments. Tell me, am I wrong? Am I right? All those should never been right. Doing like execution, like hanging them. Yeah, I can understand that because that was back in the 1800s. But then skinning their skin one little bit at a time. That's bro, that is just wrong, to be honest. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know in the comments what you guys want me to react to next. Um, yeah, I was just watching TV before bed, and yeah, I was like, you know what, let's do a reaction to this video. This would be interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't get demonetized and get taken down. Because I already got 1 strike on my account for some reason. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Speaking of that, there is a dude that does reaction videos, but he does like these this videos on rappers and all. He doesn't play it out long enough. He just pauses it. He's like, "Oh man," and then he plays it again. It's like, dude, you're still copywriting. You're not letting people hear what they're rapping about. It's oh, and he has 10K subs, but he has less views than what I get. Like I have what 63 subs, and I'm getting 1K to depends on the videos. But there's one video I did with what's that? Oh my gosh, TV, haunted bridge or something. I can't remember what it was, but that had 10K. That had, what was it? I think that was 1.2 or 1.4 views. Not bad a video. Not bad at all. And everybody that watched it, I appreciate that. But dude had only like 24 to 43 views. I get that almost in almost every video. And even though that a lot of people don't watch it, or give a thumbs up or subscribes, but you know what? If they watch it and if they like it, they can subscribe to it. But yeah, but I had a terrifying situation. That's why I haven't really uploaded. Um, I basically lost my grandma. Uh, Actually, today would be a week that I lost my grandma, and uh, she was on hospice, and of course, and taking care of her, and doing what I needed to do. But it was hard. It was hard to see her go, my grandma to go. But to be honest with you, um, everybody dies eventually. Everybody's still asking me how I'm doing and all that, but hey, still hanging in here, and yeah, it's time for me to move on. That's what my grandma wanted to do. People that have family members that die and all that, don't cry over it. It everything's gonna be fine. Cause to be honest with you, even though that my grandma's dead and she's not here no more. To be honest with you, she's still people are still here with you. You just can't see them. Their energy is still here. That's why I'm not really upset. That's why I'm not. My mind is kind of messed up about it, but hey, I can still feel her energy here, and I know that she's here, and she's in heaven too. But you just gotta think positive. 'Cause if you don't, it's gonna ruin you. It's just gonna make your life even worse if you can't look past it. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, comment down below if you agree to any of those like brutal punishments. Like that is not okay to do, bruh. But yeah. But I'm gonna get off here, you guys. You guys have a wonderful night. Let me know in the comments. Do you want me to go live? I think I can go live on Facebook. I'm not sure, but I will leave my social. Follow me on Snapchat, Instagram. I think I. Let me see. Let me see if. Let me hold on. Let me see if I have Instagram. No, I'll leave. Follow me on Snapchat and TikTok. I'll leave those in the description down below. If you guys want to communicate with me on Snapchat, go for it. I don't mind. You can check out my TikToks. I have Let me see how many. See how many TikTok. I mean, how many followers I have. I have 1,031 followers. Um, I do have 1,105 likes. Um, just go to TikTok, type in at Daywalker616. There is, whoops, there is my TikTok account at Daywalker616. You guys can see some of my reaction videos. But go check it out. I'll leave everything down in the description down below. Make sure you guys follow me on there. Instagram, I will get Instagram back and Twitter. So every time you guys see a video, I'll post it on Twitter and Instagram, letting you guys know that I will be going live. Make sure to hit that bell so you don't miss any videos that I'm going to come out. But let me know in the comments, do you guys like me doing reaction videos? And you do, let me know what kind of videos you want me to see. It could be music, country, other YouTubers. Let me know which ones you guys want, and I will react to it. Until then, you guys have a nice day. Stay safe and stay wonderful. Catch you guys in the next video. Deuce.